Hey, it's John. Welcome back to the show. Welcome to my show on my 10 favorite songs from 2000. This is a show that I put out as a companion to my appearance on Grant's Rock Warehouse, where every month a panel of us talk about our favorite songs from a particular year and we go chronological. In early March 2026, we'll be talking about our 10 favorite songs from 2000. So, what I do on this show is I go a little more deeper into why I chose these songs, and I also give you 20 honorable mentions. Now, 2000. 2000, I was getting really heavy into jazz music. So, I was really working my way backwards, and it was an exciting time for me musically. I still was following what was going on in music a little bit. I had a passing interest in what was going on, but I got even deeper into a lot of the songs from 2000 as time went on. A lot of songs you're going to see on here are from bands and artists I've already talked about before, and I stayed with them throughout my life. So, without further ado, here's my 10 favorites from 2000. My number 10 is from a band that I've talked about a couple times already in this series. And this is from an album that is quite revered and very adventurous. This is Radiohead. This is from their album Kid A. Song I'm going with is Optimistic. Now, Optimistic is probably the song on the album that resembles earlier Radiohead, like the Bends and OK Computer, and the fact that it's a little more organic. The guitar is driving the foundation along with the drum beats. Very, very hypnotic song. The electronics on here are kept to a minimum compared to a lot of the other albums. This is very highly involved in electronics. OK Computer had a lot of electronics on. Kid A really went full force into that. But this is a wonderful song. I've always liked Tom York's minimalistic vocal on here and his lyric and his vocal on here. I think it's a very hypnotic track that's always stuck with me. This is my number 10 from Radiohead. Track is Optimistic. Number 9 is from my favorite band that I've talked about extensively here on John the Music Nut and will continue to do so. This is Little Feat from their album Chinese Work Songs. Track I'm going with is Bed of Roses. Bed of Roses is one of several songs on here sung by Sean Murphy. This is the third of four albums that Little Feat would do where she would handle some of the lead vocals. And to me, her finest performances in the Little Feat canon are on this album. She has several songs that she sings on here, and her take and the band's take on Bob Dylan's It Takes a Lot to Laugh, It Takes a Train to Cry is wonderful. Track I'm going with, though, is Bed of Roses, because Bed of Roses, it just is very driving barroom rocker. You know, it sounds like something you'd see some local band do it at the bar, and it's pretty rowdy. It's got that kind of feel to it. You got great piano lines here from Bill Payne. Very, very kick ass. It's got a great chorus to it as well. And Sean really belts out the lyric on this. This is a very good album from Little Feat that I don't think gets discussed enough. It is very long, but and there are a few covers on this album, but everything on this album is very good. But my favorite on this album is my number 9 for 2000, Little Feat, Bed of Roses. Number 8 is a artist and comes from an album that I discussed on my album After series. This is The Wallflowers from the album Breach. I'm going with the first single from the album, Sleepwalker. Now, Sleepwalker has this really, really cool groove on it. It's great chorus. Jacob Dylan and the band are really firing it up here. This is an excellent track. It doesn't quite have the hooks like a song like Sixth Avenue Heartache or One Headlight has. It's a very, very well written song. I love the Sanui guitar lines on here. Again, the chorus is wonderful. I just think this is an excellent track from an album that I think a lot of people didn't know about or just forgot about. It didn't have the big hits, so it stalled at gold after 4 million, over 4 million bought, bringing down the horse. But as it stands, this is a very strong track. This is my number 8, The Wallflowers with Sleepwalker. In my number 7, this is a band I've talked about a little bit here, John the Music Nut. Different kind of album here, though, that we get from Rollins Band. This is from their album Get Some Go Again, and the track I'm going with is the first single, Illumination. Now, how I say this is a different kind of album. The previous few albums, End of Silence, Waits, Come In and Burn, there was more this jazz rock thing going on. It could be really driving, but it could be very somber and solemn. There was a lot of drama within the grooves. This album, where Mother Superior is back in Henry Rollins at this point, is very hard hitting. It's just a knockout, kick ass hard rock album. Illumination starts with this very repetitive and simple but effective bass line. And then the guitars are just bringing in these loud chords, but they're playing with a lot of space. And then you got Henry coming in with the vocal. And then it just stops and it goes into the main chorus. And then it goes into that riff. The riff is killer on here. Wicked track on here. Guitar lead on it is excellent. This just comes in, kicks your ass, and gets out, like I like to say about some of these songs. Very good album. It's just a different album, just more hard hitting album. The songs are a lot shorter, but I wouldn't say it's a punk album. I wouldn't say this is Black Flag. This is my number 7 from Rollins Band, Illumination. And number 6 is probably the biggest hit of all those songs I'll talk about today. This was a number 1 hit in the United States on the Hot 100. This is Matchbox 20 from their album Mad Season, going with the first single from the album, which is Bent. And I believe that's still the only number 1 hit single that Matchbox 20 has had. Bent is a very, very cool tune. You got these atmospheric guitars. The guitar lines on here are very memorable. And it gets quieter during the verses. Rob Thomas's vocal on here is wonderful. You got an excellent chorus on here, just like you had on all those great singles from their debut album. Very, very cool. The guitar lines, though, I think are very dramatic, as is that drum beat on here. Very, very cool track. It's the one song of the hits, all the songs on the album that's really, really stuck with me. This is my number 6, Matchbox 20 with Bent. Okay, my number 5 is a singer-songwriter I've talked about extensively on John the Music Nut, and I'll be talking about it in plenty more in the 2000s because he came out with a lot of great albums in the 2000s. This is John Hiatt from the album Crossing Muddy Waters. The song I'm going with is Lift Up Every Stone. Now, with this album, John went more organic on this album. Some people call this his bluegrass album, but it just has a lot of mandolin on it. It's not really a bluegrass album at all. It's just him going more rural or rustic on here. Lift Up Every Stone has this kind of gospel feel to it with that chorus and John's delivery on here. We don't have any drums on this album. This is very rustic, very like old school country, I guess you could say that it is. It's just a really, really cool song. John sings very well on here. The instrumentation's great throughout. Same with a lot of the albums on here, a lot of the songs on here, I should say. A lot of songs are a lot more barren, and you're really paying attention to the lyrics. Lift Up Every Stone is a killer, in my opinion, and it's my number 5 from 2000. Lift Up Every Stone by John Hiatt. Number 4 is a singer-songwriter we lost in 2005, who I've talked about a lot on John the Music Nut, and I will continue to do so at least through 2005. This is Chris Whitley featuring Billy Martin and Chris Wood from Medeski Martin Wood. This is from his Perfect Day album. This is a covers album. I'm going with the song China Gate. China Gate was a movie that came out in 1957. And Nat King Cole was one of the stars in the movie, and Nat King Cole sang this song. This is a much different version than what you had in the movie. Nat King Cole's one of the great voices of our lifetimes. And he had this certain approach to music. I mean, his voice was just so smooth. Chris's voice is great as well. It's just a much deeper, huskier voice. This is more minimalistic compared to the original. The original has a little bit of orchestration on it, but it's Nat's vocal that really carries it. Same thing here, but we're doing it more with a jazz rhythm section. Very wonderful track that really, really cuts into you. It's just very emotional what Chris does with this song. So this is my number 4, Chris Whitley with Martin and Wood with China Gate. Okay, my number 3 is a song that was all over rock radio, mainstream rock radio, alternative rock radio, whatever you want to call it. This is Fuel from their album Something Like Human, and I'm going with the song Hemorrhage in My Hands. Now, this song, I think, is aged like a fine wine. We talk about the post-grunge era. This, I think, is one of the best songs of the post-grunge era. This was number 1 on the mainstream rock charts for, I don't know, 10, 12, 15 weeks or so. It also made a nice dent on the top 40 pop stations. Excellent track. A wonderful chorus on here is very memorable. Those guitar lines are great on here. Great pre-chorus on here as well. Fuel put out some really good stuff in the late 90s and early 2000s, and I'm really getting into that part of their catalog lately. But Hemorrhage in My Hands, their biggest hit, it's just a showstopper. It's a fantastic track. My number 3 for 2000 is Fuel, Hemorrhage in My Hands. Number 2, this is from a band that sometimes in the last 40 years or so, we could say they were the most popular rock band in the world. They were getting very experimental with the few albums before this one. This album, they kind of went back to rock, but they were also, it was more like almost like adult contemporary music at time, but there were some great songs on here. This is U2 from their album All That You Can't Leave Behind. The song I'm going with is the opening track, an opening single, Beautiful Day. Beautiful Day is a wonderful track. When I heard that song, I'm like, oh my God, U2 is back. And this is excellent. So many great hooks on here with that bass line, the guitar lines. The chorus on here is very memorable. The bridge, it might be my favorite bridge of 2000. It's just a wonderful song. And this was a song that was universal. It was getting played on your mainstream rock channels, your album-oriented rock channels, your alternative rock channels. It's all contemporary. It just had a life of its own. It's, for my money, one of their best songs. Certainly my favorite since one from the Achtung Baby album. So this is my number 2, U2 with Beautiful Day. My number 1 is from a band who hadn't released a studio album in 20 years. So that will give you a big clue about who I'm about to talk about. And this album would wind up winning 4 Grammys for them. This is Steely Dan from their album Two Against Nature. I'm going with the title track. The title track, I think, is wonderful. It's got those drums kicking in with those horns coming in and out. And then the bass line kicks in. The bass line's very, very addictive. And then Donald Fagen's piano kicks in. And then they go into the main verse, which is, it's just very elegant, yet very, very catchy. The chorus is just as catchy as that. You got the horn lines coming in and out here. And of course, they're always in their right place and they're very exquisite. The bridge on here is wonderful. The guitar solo is wonderful. This whole track just takes you on a ride. It's a little over 6 minutes long, not a second wasted. I adore this song. I never got sick of it, and I can always listen to this song. Maybe not one of my favorite Steely Dan albums, but it was a very good comeback for them, and this song is just gold to me. My number 1 is Two Against Nature by Steely Dan. So let me give you a recap of my 10 favorite songs, and then I will give you 20 honorable mentions. My number 10 is Optimistic by Radiohead. My number 9 is Bed of Roses by Little Feat. My number 8 is Sleepwalker by the Wallflowers. My number 7 is Illumination by Rollins Band. My number 6 is Bent by Matchbox 20. My number 5 is John Hyatt with Lift Up Every Stone. My number 4 is Chris Whitley with Martin and Wood with Chinagate. My number 3 is Fuel with Hemorrhage in My Hands. My number 2 is U2 with Beautiful Day. My number 1 is Steely Dan with Two Against Nature. Now, before I go into my honorables, let me go into the ones that got really close for me. This was close. King's X. Now, they put out an album called Please Come Home, Mr. Bulbous in 2000. I really enjoyed this album. It's not a fan favorite. The band has told me that themselves. Song I'm going with is Charlie Sheen. This is a Ty Tabor song that's very, very catchy. It's got these dreamy harmonies on here. Wonderful guitar line. Always dug it. So close to my top 10. Speaking of King's X, this is close. This was a super group here with Doug Pinnick from King's X with a couple of guys from Trouble. This is Super Shine. And this is a album I only got into in the last couple of years, most notably when my friends on Grant's Rock Warehouse, hello Nick Esquire, talked about this album as part of the One and Done series. And the song I'm going with on here is Kingdom Come. This whole album kicks ass. It's closer to Trouble musically. It's very, very good. They sound great. I wish they did more than one album, but Kingdom Come is a kick-ass track. This is close. Singer-songwriter who I've been getting into a lot in the last maybe 10 years or so, Steve Earle, from his album Transcendental Blues. And the song I'm going with is Galway Girl. Galway Girl is really cool. It's just this really cool Irish folk song, which is very, very catchy. And I've always enjoyed it. So, okay, we're going to get a little glare on the screen here as I go into Notepad. And before I go into the glare, here's an honorable mention. Three Doors Down. Rest in peace, Brad Arnold. What a wonderful songwriter we had in him. And this was a band that gave us a lot of great songs. And the song I'm going with is Kryptonite. Kryptonite just kicks ass and takes names. This was so close to my top 10. Wonderful track. So let me just go to Notepad and I'll read you all the rest here. Okay. Armored Saint, from their album Revelation, the last song, Upon My Departure. Wonderful. One of the best John Bush vocal performances, in my opinion. Okay, this one goes out to Peter Kerr from Rock Daydream Nation. He got me into the band called The Hives. The Hives with their wonderful garage rock. The track I'm going with is Main Offender. This song kicks ass. Give a shout out to my buddy BM Bolts on this one. This is Government Mule. This is a track called Bad Little Doggy. This just kicks ass. Wonderful track. Coldplay, from their album Parachutes, when they were still organic and they were still good. I'm going to go with the song Shiver. I think that's an excellent track. Iron Maiden, from their comeback album with Bruce Dickinson. It's crazy. This is now 26 years later. I'm going with the song called Dream of Mirrors. It's a long track, but I think that Bruce's vocal performance on this is excellent. I think it's a great song. Dandy Warhols with the catchiest sin, Bohemian Like You. Always dug that song. Oasis, from Standing on the Shoulder of Giants. Track called Go Let It Out, which is kind of like a Beatles song with a more trip hop beat. This is a song that I'm about to talk about. I didn't really know until about 2 years ago. It's Deftones with the song Change in a House of Flies. Sirius XM Turbo played this a lot, and this song just really grew on me. It's very, very addictive. I've been listening to a lot of Turbo in the last few years. That's why some of these other songs are sound like, oh, he's been listening to Turbo. Like this one, Disturbed. Song that I always knew, but I knew that vocal hook. The song is Down with the Sickness. Once I knew who this was, now I'm like, yeah, this song really kicks ass. Always enjoyed it. Well, I've enjoyed it in the last few years anyway. Lou Reed from his album Ecstasy. Now, this is a more guitar album. There's a lot of great guitar on here, a lot of noise on here. The song I'm going with is a more elegant song with jazz overtones called Tatters, which I really enjoy. Papa Roach with Last Resort, which was all over the radio in the 2000s. And I liked it back then. I like it a lot. Kansas with the track Icarus 2, which was a sequel to the Icarus song that is from the third album, which Mask, I believe the album was. Yes. Very good sequel. This is a song that takes you on a ride, but it's very well done. Bare Naked Ladies. Now, this was from the Maroon album. The big hit was Pinch Me, but I'm going with a track called Fallen for the First Time, which is just wonderful melodic pop. Great chorus in this track. Great hooks. Collective Soul from their album Blender. And this is a really catchy song that the band still do live. It's called Why, Part 2. Godsmack, the title song from Awake. For the longest time, I wasn't into this band at all, and I've been getting into them really heavy in the last couple of years. And last, but certainly not least, one of my favorite bands, Fishbone, with Just Allow. So, thank you so much for joining me today. What are your favorite 10 songs from 2000s? Would any of these songs be among your 10 favorites, or maybe different songs by these bands? Do you like any of my honorable mentions? What do you think in general of the music that was out there in 2000? Please let me know in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me today. Do what you love. I'll talk to you soon.